G'day guys. Today's a bit of a cruisy walk. We're going to check out some of the amazing buildings here at Darling Harbour, specifically heading through the Darling Quarter area. This is a place that's always changing. From when I was young to now, it's totally different. It's gone from old wharves to a multi-billion-dollar playground. For those of you who haven't been here yet, I really hope you get the same wow factor I get every time I come down here. The buildings look fantastic, and the open areas make it feel so communal. It really is the place to be. Let's go have a look. The harbour side is getting close to stage 1 being finished over there, and just next to it, the glass ice sculpture building is the International Convention Centre, or the ICC. This is actually the first of the 3 buildings that make up this massive complex. It was designed by the architectural firms Hassel and Populous, and it features Australia's largest ballroom with some of the best views of the city skyline you'll ever see. It's mainly used for major global summits and massive corporate conferences, and it's already hosted some big hitters like TEDx Sydney and the World Chambers Congress. It really set the bar for the rest of the precinct when it opened back in 2016. Hope everyone is doing well today. I wanted to say a massive thank you to all of you for taking the time to watch the videos and for leaving your comments. It really is fantastic to have you along. And if this is your first time joining us, a very warm welcome to the channel. It's great having you here. It's hard to believe when you're looking at all these sleek modern buildings, but for over 100 years, this whole area was the industrial engine room of Sydney. Before the 1980s, you wouldn't have seen a single tourist down here. It was a massive maze of railway goods, yards and working wharves, thick with the smell of coal and wool being loaded for export. Actually, the Aboriginal Gadigal people originally called this southern part of the harbour Tumbalong, which means place where seafood is found. It's a nice touch that the park just up here in front of the ICC still carries that name today, keeping that link to the land's original history alive amidst all this change. Now, have a look at these reflection ponds. They were put in as part of the Darling Quarter revitalisation, and they do a great job of cooling down the look of all that stone and concrete. On a still day, you get these perfect mirror images of the ICC and the city skyline. It's actually a clever bit of design. They're shallow enough that kids can splash around in them during the summer, but they also act as a buffer between the busy eatery area and the open park. It gives the whole place a bit of a sanctuary feel right in the middle of the city. And it's a good place for the seagulls, it seems. If you have a listen to the trees here, it sounds like we're deep in the bush. But here's a little secret, not all of those birds are real. As part of the design for Darling Quarter, they've actually tucked speakers into the garden areas that play recorded bird songs. It's a clever trick to help drown out the city traffic and make this whole spot feel a bit more tranquil. Now, this long tiered building right next door is the Exhibition Centre. It's a bit of a massive one. This is actually Australia's first and largest multi-storey exhibition venue. To give you an idea of the scale, the floor space inside these halls is equivalent to about 26 Olympic-sized swimming pools. You'll notice the design is a lot warmer than the glass building we just left. The architects, Hassel and Populous, used a lot of quality Australian timber and greenery here to give it more of a natural or bush feel. Do me a massive favour and hit that like button. Let's smash the YouTube algorithm together. You guys are incredible at it, so thank you. And here's the third piece of the puzzle, the TikTok Entertainment Centre. Now, for us locals, this spot is a bit special because it replaced the legendary old Sydney Entertainment Centre. I actually remember heading into the old Ent Cent years ago to see Metallica. It was loud, it was gritty, and it was absolutely iconic. I'd love to know your stories. Leave a comment below and tell me what was the best concert or band you saw at the old Ent Cent. I'm sure a few of you have some wild memories from in there. This new theatre is a different beast altogether. It's a state-of-the-art fan-shaped venue that seats about 8,000 people, and honestly, there isn't a bad seat in the house. It also made headlines recently as the first venue in the world to take on the TikTok name. Since it opened, it's already hosted the likes of Elton John, Cher, and Jerry Seinfeld. It's a bit sleeker than the old place, but it's definitely keeping that live music heart of Sydney beating. We hit one of my favourite hidden spots in the city, the Chinese Garden of Friendship. It was built back in 1988 to mark Australia's Bicentenary, but it's more than just a park. It's actually a symbol of the sister city bond between Sydney and Guangzhou in China. If you've never been inside, it's like stepping into a different world. It was designed using ancient Taoist principles of yin and yang, so every rock, waterfall and plant is perfectly balanced to create that sense of total peace. It's a proper escape from the skyscrapers just outside the walls. If you're planning a visit, they're open daily from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. For entry, it'll set you back about $12 for an adult and $8 for kids. It's well worth it, especially if you need a quiet corner to clear your head for an hour. Now we're hitting the Darling Quarter eatery stretch, and you're absolutely spoilt for choice in here. You've got Brasa Churrascaria. They do a brilliant Brazilian barbecue where the carvers bring the skewers straight to your table. Along this stretch, you'll also find Vesta Italian, which is a local favourite for a relaxed pizza or pasta. If you're after something Asian, there's Mumian for some top-tier Cantonese, or Dudi King for a spicy Thai fix. There's also Ichume in this area, a great Japanese izakaya spot if you fancy a bit of sashimi and a cold lager. It's such a communal vibe through here. You'll always see people grabbing a feed and sitting out in the sun at Darling Pavilion, or just enjoying the park. You might have noticed all the tents and gear being set up. It's a busy weekend down here at Tumbalong Park. They're actually getting ready for the Buddha's birthday festival. It's a huge 2-day celebration with heaps of multicultural food stalls and traditional lion dances. If you're around this Saturday or Sunday, it's a brilliant vibe, totally free to wander through, and the smells from the vegetarian food fair are usually enough to lure anyone in. It's basically the start of festival season for the park, because in just a couple of weeks, Vivid Sydney will be moving in, turning this whole area into a playground of lights and free live music. There's always something happening in this part of the city, isn't there? Well, I'm definitely ready for a brew after that wander. If you've enjoyed the walk and the bit of history today, I've left a buy me a coffee link in the description. There's absolutely no pressure, but if you do want to shout me a cuppa to help keep the 4K gear running, I'd be massively grateful. And a huge thank you again to everyone who's already supporting the channels, Jimmy and For the Burbs. You guys are the reason I can keep getting out here and sharing these spots with you. It's funny to think that where we're standing was once just steam, soot and railway tracks. Seeing it now full of life, families and these incredible ice sculpture buildings, it really shows how much Sydney can reinvent itself. Whether you're here for the Buddha's birthday festival this weekend or just a quiet stroll, Darling Harbour always has a way of surprising you. It really is a place for everyone. And look, if you're new around here and you've actually made it this far into the walk, firstly, you're a legend. But also, think about subscribing to the channel. We're out here every week uncovering the history and the hidden stories of Sydney, and I'd love to have you along for the next one. We've come back around to where we started, looking out over the Cockle Bay precinct. Now, my last video was a quiet walk past here, but I've just finished filming a proper walk through the heart of it for another video. You'll want to see that one soon, because this whole area is actually about to be demolished. It's the end of an era for this side of the harbour, so keep an eye out for that footage coming up. Thanks for the yarn and for taking the time to watch. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, see ya.